லைட் இல்லையா? லைட்டு கம்மியாக இருக்கு. கம்மியாக இருக்கு லைட்.
லைட் கம்மியாக இருக்கா?
श्री गणेशाय नमः. श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः. श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि. सन्तोषिणी जगन्माता मम सौभाग्यवृद्धये नमस्करोमि भक्त्या त्वां प्रसन्ना वरदा भव. शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः. नीलाम्बुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गं सीतासमारोपितवामभागं पाणौ महासायकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम्. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः. स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ॐ. दुर्गा सूक्तम्. ॐ जातवेतसे सुनवामसो ममरातीयतो निदहाति वेदः स नः परिषदति दुर्गाणि विश्वानावेव सिन्धुं दुरितात्यग्निः. तामग्निवर्णां तपसा ज्वलन्तीं वैरोचनीं कर्मफलेषु जुष्टां दुर्गां देवीकं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये सुतरसितरसे नमः अग्ने त्वं पारयानव्यो अस्मात्वित्यभिरति दुर्गाणि विश्वा पूश्च पृथिवी बहुला न उर्वी भवा तोकायतनयाय सिंह्योः विश्वानि नो दुर्गः जातवेदः सिन्धुन्ननाव दुरितातिपर्षि अग्ने अत्रिवन्मनसा गृणानोऽस्माकं बोध्यवितातनूनां पृथनाजितकं सहमानमुग्रमग्निगुं हुवेम परम ससत्स्यात् स नः परिषदति दुर्गाणि विश्वाक्षामेत्तामद्देवो अतिदुरितात्यग्निः प्रत्नोषिकमीढ्यो अध्वरेषु सनाच्च होता नव्यश्च सत्सि स्वाञ्चाग्ने तनुवं विप्रयस्वास्माभ्यं च सौभगमायजस्व गोभिर्जुष्टमयुजो निषिक्तं तवेन्द्रविष्णोरनुसञ्चरेम नाकस्य पृष्ठमपि संवसानो वैष्णवी लोक इह बाधयन्ताम् ॐ कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारि धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गी प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ We are on the Vaitatya Prakaranam, second chapter. We have seen the last class, the 3 verses. So, in 3 verses, Gaudapadacharya established the dream is mithya. Why he has to do that? Because there are some school consider dream is also real. Therefore, he has to say. Because 2 reasons he gave. One is desha and kala. So, the space that is required for an elephant to stand, that is not there in the dream mind. So, with that desha kala difference is there, therefore, it cannot be, dream cannot be real, it is a manasa sankalpa. Now, he quotes Shruti Pramanam also, that Brihadaranya Upanishad, natatra rathaha, natatra tayogade, no nara na rathapanthan sujati. So there are no roads, there are no horses, there are no the rider also. None of them are there really. It is all sankalpa. Now with that, Swapna, the Swapna Prapancha Mithya is established. Now from 4th verse onwards till 18th verse, he is going to establish the waking world also is like Swapna. Karika, 4th mantra. Antasthanattu bhedanam tasmat jakarite smritam yatha tatra tatha swapne samvrutatvena bhidyate vidyate andasthanattu bhedanam yatha tatra tatha swapne samvrutatvena bhidyate. With the first three verses, Gaudapada Acharya completes the first topic, which is Swapna Prapancha Mithya. From the 4th verse up to 18th verse, he is going to give us a shocking revelation. This waking world is real in our experience. Gaudapada Acharya says, Jagrat also exactly like Swapna Prapancha. This has to be very carefully assimilated, otherwise Advaitam will be the most confusing teaching. When we say the dream world is unreal, we are able to say this only after waking up from dream. As a waker, I can say that dream is unreal. But from the dreamer's standpoint, dream is very real. It is unreal only from the waker's standpoint. So we have to learn to think appropriately. A drunkard went to a bar and drank too much alcohol. When it is time to pay, he told his bar owner, I think I drank too much and now I see everything as 2-2. So how many bottles did I drink? The bar owner thought that this is a good chance to exploit him. He actually drank only 1 bottle. But the barman said, Sir, you drank 2 bottles. The man took out the money for 1 bottle, $20, and gave it to him, saying, Here, $2 $20. Bar owner forgot that for him the dollar bill also looked double. This is Vedanta. Don't apply the teaching partially. Unless you change the standpoint from your body to Turiya Chaitanyam, then only you realize that the waking state is mithya. While you are in the waking state, identifying with the body, mind, intellect, the waking world remains real. Until you lift yourself to the state of Turiya, the waking state will not become unreal. Like we say the dream, while dreaming it is very real. The palpitation, sometimes you see some tiger chasing you, etc. So that palpitation of the heart is still, when you wake up also it is still there. So it is so real at that time. Yatha sopne tatha, as the world is mithya in dream, tatha tatra, in the same way in the waking state also. Tasmat jagarite. Therefore the wise people declare that the world is mithya in Jagrat Avastha also. It is Mritam. If both of them are mithya, is there a difference? But between mithya Jagrat Prapancha and mithya Swapna Prapancha, there is a difference. Mithya Jagrat Prapancha is outside your body. Mithya Swapna Prapancha is within your body. Vidyate differs. Andasthanatu. Swapna is located within and also samvrtatvena, constrained in a limited space. In this respect, Swapna Prapancha is different from Jagrat Prapancha. Common thing is Mithyatvam. Now, I accept Swapna Prapancha Mithya because it has limited time and space. But Jagrat Prapancha has sufficient time and space. Now let us, what do you call that? Recapitulate whatever we have done so far. Otherwise, if you go fast, things will be forgotten. So, in this second chapter, Sri Gaudapadacharya is establishing the Vaitatyam or Mithyatvam of the entire universe. Means what? Jagrat Prapancha, which was indicated by the word Prapanchopashamam in the 7th mantra. And to establish the Mithyatvam of the Jagrat Prapancha, Gaudapadacharya is going to take Swapna Prapancha as an example. And before taking dream as an example, first Gaudapadacharya established dream itself is Mithya with the help of Shruti Pramanam, Yukti and Anubhava Pramanam. In these 3 verses, 1, 2, 3, and the logic given was Swapna Prapancha is Mithya because Uchita Desha Kala Abhavat Darpanastha Hastivat. Having established Mithyatvam in the dream world, Gaudapadacharya in the 4th verse extended that to Jagrat Prapancha also. And he made a bold statement, Yatha Tatra Tatha Swapne. Yatha Swapne Tatha Jagrat Prapanche. Gaudapadacharya accepts that there are certain differences in the object of Jagrat Prapancha and the object of Swapna Prapancha. The difference is Swapna Prapancha is experienced within the mind with a limited time. But in the case of Jagrat Prapancha, the objects are experienced outside the mind. Even though the experience is within the mind or outside the mind, it is Mithya. But there is a problem. You can dismiss Swapna Prapancha as Mithya, giving the reason that in dream there is no appropriate time and space available. But the same logic you cannot use for Jagrat Prapancha, because in the waking world there are enough space and time available. Therefore, Uchita Desha Kala Abhava reason cannot be given for Jagrat Prapancha. And hence he has to give some other reason. And Gaudapadacharya is confident of that reason, and he will tell you that later. Therefore, he says, whatever be the reason, I want to tell you both are Mithya. Naturally, now what is the reason to establish Mithyatvam of Jagrat Prapancha is the question that he gives in the 5th verse. Swapna Prajagarithasthane Kekamahurmanishinaha Vedanam hi samatvena Prasiddhenaiva hetuna Swapna Jagaritasthane Ekamahurmanishinaha Vedanam hi samatvena Prasiddhenaiva hetuna. Swapna Jagaridasthane Ekam means the dream object or experience as well as Jagaridasthanam, the waking object or experience, Ekam Ahuhu, very, very similar. In what respect? Both being Mithya. One is experienced within, another is experienced outside. Manishinaha, learned people. Vedanam hi samatvena, the object being very, very similar. Both are time bound and space bound. In all respects, samatvena are identical. Both are mithya only. But how can you say Jagrat Prapancha is mithya? As I can accept Swapna Prapancha is mithya, but not Jagrat. It is not in a confined time and space. Now, what is the logic? He says, Prasiddhenaiva hetuna, because of the well-known reason. Now, well-known to those people who are expert in the Shastras. Then what is that well-known reason? We have got two well-known reasons. One reason Shankaracharya himself gives in his commentary to this sloka, and another well-known reason which Gaudavacharya himself gives in the next verse. So, first reason Shankaracharya gives Yat Drishyam Tan Nashyam. This is the postulate. Jagrat Prapancha is mithya because you see it. Yat Drishyam Tan Nashyam. Anything that you see is subject to time and space, limited, finite. Is it not? Think about it. Yat Drishyam Tan Nashyam. Why it is mithya? Because you see it. Think about it. Is it not? Anything that you see as an object, it is time bound, isn't it? Whatever you see. Even sun is also time bound. What do you call that? Entropy or something they say, no? So it is time bound. Anything. Even the world is also, there is pralaya. So the moment you say, I see it, then it is nashyam. So, nashyasvasupna. Exactly like Swapna Prapancha, you see it, experience it. Whatever is experienced by you is mithya, is the vyapti. Jagra prapanchaha mithya drishyatvad swapna prapanchavat. And therefore, the generalization is, that is vyapti. Whatever is experienced by you is mithya. Then what is satyam? Whatever is not seen is satyam. That means, whatever is not seen is non-existence. Do you mean to say we are talking about a truth which has no existence? No. Whatever is existence but not experienced by you is satyam. The experiencer alone is satyam. Everything else is mithya. How do you say so? Whatever is an object of an experience can be proved to be an existent thing only by the subject. If the subject is not there, no objective experience is possible. Only in the presence of the subject, any object can be experienced. The world is, how do you say? You are there. If you are not there, who is going to say this? Huh? So, whereas the existence of a subject does not depend upon the object. Whether the object is there or not, you are there. In sleep, there are no objects, but you are there. Existence of an object depends upon knowability. Knowability depends upon the knower. Object has dependent existence, dependent on the subject. In Vedanta, whatever has dependent existence is called mithya. Like clay and pot. Pot is mithya and clay is satyam. Whatever is Swatantra Satta is satyam. Whatever has Paratantra Satta is mithya. Paratantra Satta means dependent. This is a well-known reason. Therefore, prasiddhe naiva hetuna means drishyatva hetuna. Now, Gaudapadacharya is going to give another well-known reason in the next verse. This is a famous verse. Everybody quote this. Ādāvante ca yannāsti vartamānepi tattatthā vitathai sadrisha santah avitatha iva lakshitah. Ādāvante ca yannāsti vartamānepi tattadhā vidadhai sadrisha santah avitatha iva lakshitah. This is a very famous verse. All Vedantins quote this. Ādāvante ca yannāsti. That which was not there in the beginning, that which will not be there in the end, Then Vartamanepi Tatthada, in the middle, if it is shown, it is as good as not there. So whatever is finite is mithya, and yet nityam tat satyam. That, what is the definition of satyam? Trikala apatita vastu satyam. That which is consistently present in all three periods of time. That is satyam. So any finite object enjoys existence for a limited duration. A pot is anityam. If a finite object enjoys existence for a limited time, then it is understandable that existence is not its intrinsic nature. For example, water enjoys heat for a limited duration, whereas fire enjoys heat all the time. That is its nature. Pot is born and pot is destroyed. But in between also, what was there is only clay. Pot is only an appearance, seeming existence borrowed from clay. So too this world. Before Srishti, the world was not there. After Pralayam, the world will not be there. In between also, the easiness does not belong to the world, but to the Brahman. Adau yat nasti. That which was not there before creation, that which will not exist in future, Adau ante cha yat nasti. Therefore, vartamanepi tattada, even in the present moment also it does not exist. There vitathaihi sadrishaha. This object of this world is like any other unreal objects. But the world appears to be real. Avitatha ivalakshitaha appears to be satyam. For whom? For the non-thinking person. On inquiry, we can understand that the world has no existence of its own. Therefore, what is the conclusion? Jagrat prapancha anityaha, like Swapna prapancha. Now, we go to the 8th verse first, then come back to 7th, okay? Apurvam sthani dharmo hi yatha surga nivasinam tanayam prekshate gatva yathaiveha sushitshitaha. Yatha surga nivasinam tanayam prekshate gatva yathaiveha sushitshitaha. And then, okay. until now, what Gaudapadacharya did, first he established Swapna Prapancha as Mithya. And then he extended it further. Jagrat Prapancha is also Mithya. We saw the reason. Number one, because it is an object of experience. Number two, that which has a beginning and end have no independent existence. And hence, in the middle also, it has no real existence. It has only an apparent existence. Ādau ante chayannasti vartamanepi tattatha. So we don't know from where we have come. We don't know after death where we are going. In between, what is there? That existence is unreal. Gita also there is a verse, right? Avyaktat vyaktayas sarvaha prabhavantyahārāgame ratrāgame praliyante. There is a verse. Now someone comes with a question. In his vision, Swapna Prapancha itself is real. General understanding is that the dream is unreal. He said there is no Vedanta for it to know that dream is unreal. But there are some philosophers, including Vishishtadvaitins, who believe that dream is real. They don't accept the dream as a projection of our mind, projecting the impression gathered from the waking state. They don't accept. Because they say, in dream we experience some unique thing, which we have not experienced in the Jagrat Avastha. If we experience only normal thing, then we can say it was a projection of what we experience in the waking state. But in dream, we experience rare thing, apurva vastu. Therefore, dream is satyam. And unique object is experienced in dream, and therefore dream is satyam. Suppose somebody says that. Gaudapadacharya says this is a mixed up experience of past janma experience. But for argument's sake, let us assume that dream also has unique experience. This is what Vishishtadvaitins say. Dream is not my creation, it is another creation of God. Assuming that you have unique experience, then that is also mithya. Why? Because if you experience it, then it is mithya. Yad drishyam tannashyam. Therefore, apurva vastu also depend upon the observer. The experience is drishyam. Therefore, the eighth verse, apurvam sthani dharmaha. Even a unique world of dream are dependent on the sthani observer. Yatha surga nivasina. In Surga, heaven, there are unique objects, Airavatam, Parijatam, Kamadhenu, etc. But those rare objects also dependent upon the observer. So too in dream and Tan Ayam Prekshate, they are all experienced by the observer. To experience Kamadhenu, Airavatam, Parijatam, you have to go there, isn't it? And you have to see it. That is why some do not believe in heaven, because he has not seen it. Such people, that which cannot be seen or observed does not exist. Yatha sushikshitaha purushaha. Just as one person goes from one place to another, he will see unique things in the world. You accept their existence because you can see them, observe them. Now in the 8th verse, Gaudavadacharya proves that dream is mithya even though you have unique experience. This is answering the Vishishtadvaitin standpoint. Now in the 7th, another Purvapaksha says, 7th verse, Saprayojanata tesham Swapne vipratipadyate Tasmadadyantavatvena Mithyaiva khalu te smritaha Saprayojanata tesham Swapne vipratipadyate Tasmat adyantavatvena Mithyaiva khalu te smritaha. The Purvapakshi says here, okay, I am willing to accept a dream is unreal for your sake. But I can never accept that the Jagrat Prapancha is unreal. The reason is, whatever money I earned in dream, I don't find any utility at all. In fact, I do so many things in dream life, but none of them is valid in the waking state. The dream crime, I am not punished. But in the Jagrat, all the objects are available and useful. Therefore, you have to change the definition of reality. Whether permanent or impermanent, that has nothing to do with reality. Whatever is useful is to be accepted as real. Utility, it is the criteria of reality. Utility is the criteria. Dream objects are unreal because they are useless. Waker's objects are real because it is useful. That is one argument. It is useful. The first argument was what? It is outside. Time and space, there is no limitation. Second argument is what? Utility value. Therefore, yat yat saprayojanam tat tat satyam. Yat yat aprayojanam tat tat mithya. Okay, this is his statement. Now, Gaudavadacharya says such definitions are incorrect. Whatever is useful is real. If you say, there will be problem. Jagrat objects are useful, all right, agree. But they are useful only in Jagrat Avastha, not in dream. Not useful in Swapna Avastha. And you may be a millionaire in Jagrat Avastha, but in dream you will be begging on the street. So, not only that, Swapnavastu alone useful in dream world. Swapnavastu Dream vastu alone is useful. Dream money. You may be lying down, sleeping with $100 bill in your pocket, but in dream you are hungry. You cannot use that money for buying food. Therefore, Jagrat Prapancha is unreal in Supnavastha, and Supna Prapancha is unreal in Jagrat Avastha. Means reality becomes a relative thing. We are discussing an absolute reality, and therefore don't go by utility alone. So that utility argument, how do you disprove it? It is limited. So it is what is useful in waking is not useful in dream. What is useful in dream is not useful in waking. So the mutually it is cancelled. So in the first three verses, he established the mithyatvam of the Swapna Prapancha. Later in the 4, 5, 6 verses, Gaudabhata Acharya established that the Jagrat Prapancha is also mithya. And to establish the mithyatvam of the Jagrat Prapancha, Gaudabhacharya uses one logic, and Shankaracharya also gives another logic. The 6th verse is of Gaudabhacharya, Ado Vante Chayannasti. Shankaracharya says, since you see, it is unreal. Yat Trishyam Tannashyam. Anything seen come under object, hence it is mithya. So that which is impermanent is mithya. Therefore, Swapna Prapancha and Jagrat Prapancha both are mithya. Why can't we take Swapna as real? Even if there are uniqueness of experience in dream, since they are object of experience, because subject to beginning and end. 7th verse, Swapna is unreal, but I cannot accept Jagrat Prapancha is unreal, because you are interpreting your own way. He gives unique definition to prove Jagrat Prapancha is real. Seventh verse, utility is a criterion for reality. Jagrat Prapancha, there is utility, hence it is real. So, Jagrat Prapancha utility is not absolute. As long as you are in Jagrat Avastha, it is useful. It is not useful in Swapna Avastha. Therefore, both are relatively real. From absolute level, they both are unreal. Now, from the consciousness angle, this Prapancha is unreal. So, that is the 7th and 8th verse. Now, I will come to the 9th verse. 9th and 10th. Gurudev has put it together. Okay. Swapnavrittavavitvantaha cetasa kalpitam tvasat behiccheto grihitam sa drishtam vaitathyametayoh jagrat vrittavavitvantaha चेतसा कल्पितं त्वसत् बहिश्चेतो गृहीतं सत् युक्तं वैधत्यमेतयोः स्वप्नवृत्तावपि त्वन्तः चेतसा कल्पितं त्वसत् बहिश्चेतो गृहीतं स दृष्टं वैतथ्यमेतयोः जाग्रद्वृत्तावपि त्वन्तः चेतसा कल्पितं त्वसत् बहिश्चेतो गृहीतं सत् युक्तं वैतथ्यमेतयोः. Now, in the 9th month verse, the Purvapakshi wants to give another reason to prove Swapna is unreal and the waking is real. Swapna is unreal because it is a mental projection existing within myself. The dream universe is not outside of me, therefore it exists in the form of thoughts in my mind. Whatever is my projection is unreal, whereas Jagrat Prapancha is not existing within. It is very much outside of me. I am experiencing every person outside me, and this world is not projection of mine. I am not projecting you. You are already there. Therefore, he makes this conclusion that whatever is internal, that is my projection, which is unreal. And whatever is external is real. Externality is the criterion for reality. This is his argument. Now, Gaudapadacharya says, you say the dream world is inside, and when you say that the world inside is a relative world, you should not use loosely. It is a relative word. From what standpoint the dream world is inside? From the waker's standpoint, the dream world is inside. When you are actually in dream, you are conducting all activities using which body? Not the waker's body. It is the dream physical body. From the standpoint of the dream body, the world is outside or inside? During dream, I am seeing all people and things outside of me only, isn't it? You are traveling to Paris, traveling in a flight attendants, passengers, everything. In fact, I don't even know that I am dreaming. Dream is known as dream only when we wake up. From the standpoint of the Swapna Shariram, the dream world is outside the dream body. Therefore, only from the waker's body standpoint alone, dream is within, not from the dreamer's standpoint. Dream is unreal only after waking up. During dream, the dream world is real. Dream thirst, hunger, anger, everything is real. Now he says, same is the story for Jagrat Prapancha also. As long as you look at the world from the waking body standpoint, it is all real. It is outside. What is that? Dakshinamurti Stotram. First verse. Okay. It will come.
Drishyam darpana.
Yes. Drishyam darpana darshyama. Thank you. Tulyam nijandargatam pashyannatmani mayaya bahirivor bhutam yatha nidraya yat sakshat kurute prapoda samaye swatmanameva swayam tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Dachinamurtaye Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nija Andargadam. See, not only Sopnam is Andargadam, even Jagrat also Andargadam, he says. Our projection of our mind. Now, suppose you wake up to your real nature, the Chaitanyam, the consciousness. From that standpoint, the Jagrat Prapancha is inside. From the consciousness standpoint, the waking world is also within. So that's why Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijandargadam Pashyan Atmani Mayaya Behihi Iva. Because of Maya, it looks as though outside. Therefore, from one standpoint, it is real. If you change the reference point, it is unreal. Hence, your definition of reality is only relative reality, not absolute reality. Now look at the sloka. Swapna vrtau api. In the dream state also. Behihi cheto grihitam. Outside by the mind experienced. All the dream objects are experienced outside. In dream you go to bed and in that sleep you dream. What will happen to the dream 1 and dream 2? Dream 1 is real and dream 2 is false. But when you wake up, both of them are falsified. When you wake up from dream number 1, we wake up to this world. Gaudabhadacharya says this waking world also is dream number 3. That is all the difference. Thus we have been traversing from one dream to another. When will you wake up to your real nature? As long as you travel from object to object, you are awake to that particular object in that particular field of experience, either waking or dream. You will wake up to the ultimate reality only when you wake up to the objectless reality. Pramatra prameya pramana bheta rahitam turiyam. Objectless awareness. Okay. Mantra 10. In the waking state also, according to you, what is seen external, behihi cheto grihitam sat, is reality. Andachetasa kalpitam asat, what is mentally projected is unreal. But when the Turiya Chaitanyam standpoint, waking and dream both are unreal. Etayoho vaithathyam yuktam. Therefore, Jagrat Prapancha is also mithya Therefore, externality for reality is incorrect. Thus, the second definition is also ruled out. The first one was utility is the criterion for reality. Second one, externality is the criterion for reality. One is external, another is utility. Both are negated. Now comes the third definition, which comes in the verse number 14 actually. We'll go to 14th verse. Chittakala hi yantastu dvayakalascha ye bahihi kalpita eva te sarve vichesho nanya hetukaha. Chittakaala hi entastu dvayakalascha ye bahihi kalpita eva te sarve vishesho nanya hetukaha. Here also he wants to prove that Swapna Prapancha is false and Jagrat Prapancha is real. This is Purvapakshi. His point is, whatever has an objective existence is real. Whatever is subjective experience is unreal. Subjective existence means dependent upon me. As long as I see, it exists. Objective existence is the existence of an object, whether I see or not, it is there. Your house, your vehicle, you left the vehicle outside parked. Does your vehicle exist or not? Yes, it existed when I used, and it continued to exist even after my use of the vehicle. Even if I don't see it, still it exists. Whether I experience or not, they have their own existence independent of me. They are called objective existence. What about dream? In dream, you are rescuing a friend who had fallen into a well. I was lifting him up, and he was about to reach the top. At that time I woke up. When I woke up, I was worried. I have not completely rescued the person. What would have happened to him? I caused his drowning to death. What shall I do now? Should I do his anteshti, etc.? You are not worried, because you know that person is no more existing in the waking world. That means the dream world is only a subjective experience. It existed only as long as I saw the dream. Therefore, the conclusion is the objectivity is the criterion for reality, and subjectivity, existence, is unreal. This is the third argument, okay? Gaudapadacharya answers that even this definition won't work, because Swapna is a subjective reality only after waking up. While you are dreaming, it is an objective experience, isn't it? You are lifting the guy from the well. It is very objective. When you are in dream, imagine you are attending Mandukya class, which is not happening. Generally, you don't dream that. But let us say, you have parked your car outside. For you, the dreamer, the car and the class are both very objective. Therefore, dream object have objective existence from dreamer's standpoint. It becomes a subjective experience after waking up. Similarly, Jagrat Prapancha also have got a subjective existence from the standpoint of Turiya. Ye antaha, those objects which are within in the dream world, Chittakala has got only a subjective existence and therefore unreal. Ye bahihi, whatever is outside, Dvayakala, as long as they are dreaming, it is outside and objective. According to your view, but in waking, te sarve kalpita, both dream, internal and external, are false. This internal and external distinction has nothing to do with the reality, as both are falsified on waking up. Dream is falsified, waking up. Waking world is falsified, waking up to your state. Prabodha samaye. Vishwam darpana drishyamana nagari tulyam nijantargatam Pashyan atmani mayaya bahirivor bhutam yatha nidraya Shatkat kurute prabodha samaye. When you are waking up, on waking up, prabodha samaye. So when you wake up, both become falsified. Similarly, Brahmajnanam, one attains both the waking and dream world is unreal. Thus, the third definition is also dismissed. Now come to the fourth definition, that is 15th verse. Avyakta eva yentastu sputa eva cha ye behihi kalpita eva te sarve visheshatvindriyantare. Avyakta eva yendastu sputa eva cha ye bahihi kalpita eva te sarve visheshatvindriyantare. Whatever is clearly experienced is real. Whatever is vague is non-real. Fourth argument. If you apply this, Swapna is very vague always. Therefore, it is unreal. But in waking, everything is clear, Vyaktam. Therefore, it is clear and real. Now, Gaudapadacharya answers that whether the world is clear or non-clear does not depend upon the world itself, but it all depends upon the type of instrument you use. So, what is clear from the standpoint of one instrument will be vague with another instrument. Suppose I give my glasses to you. You start looking through that, you won't see anything. The way you see the world depend upon with what organ you are having. But if you use a different set of organ, the whole world will be different. There are some animals who are color blind. Dog has sense of hearing better than us. Therefore, dream world is clear from the standpoint of dream sense organs. Dream world become vague from the standpoint of waker's organs. And this, the waker's world is clear from the standpoint of waker's sense organs. In fact, when I am dreaming, the waker's world does not exist. If I am blind, the world of colors does not exist for me. The world is seen with one organ or the other. You cannot experience the world as it is, as the world seen is interpreted by the senses. Depending upon the organs, the perception of the world also changes. Therefore, the world is relative reality depending upon the organ that you use. So, Gaudapadacharya says, Ye antaha te avyaktaha, that which is within dream world, whatever you are seeing is vague. Ye behihi te sputaha. The external world in the dream world for the dreamer, it is clear as long as the dream world continue. When he wakes up to the waker, all the dream world become false. Visheshadaha, the clarity or non-clarity depend upon the organs you use. The world of a male human being will be different from the world of female human being. So therefore, whether it is clear or unclear, it doesn't matter. So, all right, 12:15 now. Okay, stop here. We have one more class, right? So 11, 12 I have to take. 11 and 12 I have to take. Let's see, next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.